My topic is women in the medical field, and more specifically Elizabeth Blackwell. This first image is of American Civil War nurses. The Civil War was the first time America started seeing females join the medical field because nurses were needed for the men fighting in the war. This photo is from 1847. Around this time, most medical professionals believed that only women got certain medical issues, and they tended to attribute other diseases to hysteria. This photo shows a woman laying on a hospital cot, surrounded by roughly 8 male doctors observing her. Notice how there's no female input on this woman being diagnosed. This is a drawing of the Geneva Medical School. Elizabeth Blackwell graduated from the school in 1849, making her the first person in America to earn a doctorate in medicine. When she applied, the applications committee decided to allow the men of the medical school to vote on whether to allow a woman into their school. They voted in Blackwell's favor because the men thought it was a joke. Pictured here is Blackwell around the time she graduated from Geneva Medical School in 1849. Many articles published at this time denounced Blackwell as just another crazy woman who thought she could be more than just a housewife. Blackwell never married because she didn't want to be under the control of a man. They claimed that she didn't deserve respect because she was taking a man's job. This image is of the first Women's Medical College. It was built in 1850, which is a year after Blackwell graduated. The building was located in Pennsylvania. This is a historic milestone for all women wanting to pursue medicine. This is a photo of St. Bartholomew's Hospital in London, England. This is where Blackwell served part of her residency. Here she was told that while she was a doctor, she was to be called the professor of midwifery so that others didn't know she was a doctor. This is Blackwell pictured after her residency. Around the time she started her education, the world was learning about germs and their effects. This led to her becoming a sanitarian who strongly believed in keeping everything clean. She also believed that the most important aspects of health are given by God to fight disease. This is Florence Nightingale, who's one of the most famous nurses of her time. This was taken around 1858, which is the time she met Blackwell. Throughout her career, they remained friends and at one point looked at starting a women's teaching hospital in Europe. They didn't always agree with each other's views, but they made good companions. Florence believed that women should not become doctors because she didn't think they added anything to the field, and was quoted saying that women act like third-rate men. This is Emily Blackwell, Elizabeth Blackwell's younger sister. She was also one of the first few women to become a medical doctor in America. She was inspired by her sister, who she helped start the New York Infirmary for Women and Children. She later ran the infirmary when Elizabeth moved back to England to further other women's education. This is a photo of a classroom in the New York Medical School that Blackwell had a part in starting. Blackwell saw the strong divide in women's and men's education and wanted to bring more equality into this field. Blackwell's passion was teaching, not actually practicing medicine. This is a flyer for the Women's Medical College, founded in part by Blackwell and her sister. They were both professors at this infirmary and worked hard to give women the chance to education and support. Pictured here is Blackwell and her adopted daughter and long-term companion, Kitty Berry, or Kitty Blackwell. Blackwell met Kitty while visiting an orphanage and decided to take her home because she was growing lonely without any kids or a husband. Kitty lived with Blackwell until she passed away because she strongly admired her and had committed to helping her when she grew older. This is a photo of Blackwell's grave. After retiring in 1879, Blackwell moved to Scotland, where she wrote several books and articles about the importance in medicine and her views on the need for research. At the age of 89, Blackwell passed away of a stroke and was buried at St. Mun's Parish Church in Scotland. This picture is from 1911 and it appeared in the yearbook for the Women's Medical School of Philadelphia. Around this time, 4% of medical school graduates were female. Today, around 47% of medical school graduates are female, closing the gap between genders in graduating classes. This photo shows a room of cadavers set up for an open anatomy class. 50 years before this class happened, it was difficult for women to find any way of educating themselves, as men thought women would be ruined by education. This shows a step in the right direction for equality in education. This is a USPS stamp made to memorialize all that Blackwell did for medicine as a whole. This stamp was part of the Prominent American series. It was produced in 1974. They sold this stamp in Geneva, New York. Although there is around the same amount of male and female graduating medical students, there is some differences. The percentage of women with medical degrees practicing is fairly lower than 50%. This can be because of time off due to pregnancies and the age of retirement for some. There are also still regions of America where the percentage of practicing physicians is under 30%, like in Wyoming, North Dakota, Alabama, and Mississippi. This is a photo of the London School of Medicine for Women. This school was founded by Elizabeth Blackwell, Emily Blackwell, and several other prominent female physicians. It was the first school in England to accept females to award medical degrees. It is now part of the University of London. This photo contains a street sign named for Blackwell. This street now contains housing and businesses. It is part of of Geneva called the Blackwell Province. This photo shows the importance of her contributions. This is a statue of Blackwell in order to commemorate her. Harvard and William Smith College created the Blackwell Award to celebrate women in medicine who have further advanced their fields. In total, Blackwell was a highly celebrated woman who brought many advancements for other women who wanted to join the medical field.